Thanks for tuning in live to Toronto Business Summit, the largest business marketing event in Canada. And now your host, Max Carter.
All right, welcome everyone. Today I'm bringing you the man himself, Tony Tovar, founder of Local Reach Pros. And it's an interesting and an intriguing topic which has a lot of questions from business owners. And the topic is SEO. What is it? How does it work? Why the business needs it? And why companies charge so much for it?
Right. Yeah. It's definitely an intriguing subject. Are those questions you want me to answer? You want me to kind of dive into those?
No, we'll dive into the topic in general and then.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on board. Glad to be here.
So let's start with how does SEO work and how small business owners benefit from SEO?
So I think to start off with, everyone wants more customers, right? The reason you want SEO, the reason you're even thinking about this keyword right now is you want more traffic, you want more customers, you want more eyeballs on your website. So, and I apologize for the noise, but in any case, that's the reason you're even looking at this video. You want more customers, you're trying to get visibility online, and who doesn't want to be on page 1 of Google, right? So the way that it works is pretty simple. I have to kind of go back historically at what it used to be so that you understand the progress of how we ended up where we are today. And I'll try to make it pretty simple. So to start off with, you had Larry and Sergey who started Google, and the thing that they used to sort of build results to show you based on a query was an algorithm that they sort of borrowed. And I think for a good part of a couple of years, if they're even doing it still, they were paying a royalty to Stanford University for an algorithm that they were using. And what it did is that when you typed in something, you'd find academic journals or something like that, and the websites, the sources that were most cited or referenced to were the sites that were showing up. And so if you think about that in today's terms, we're talking about backlinks, people linking to your website. The more links you had to your website, the higher the probability of you actually being on number 1 for whatever keyword it is that you were referenced for. So if I sold rattlesnake eggs and people were talking about rattlesnake eggs and linking to my website, the more of those that I had referencing my site with that keyword, the more likelihood there was for me to actually rank for those, right? Now, fast forward a bunch of years and a ton of different algorithm updates by Google, it's no longer the same. Now now we're talking about quality. What kind of quality link is it? I'm sorry, the kind of link that you're getting, is it from a very authoritative source? Is it reliable? Is it some spam website? Is it just someone who tried to put a site together to get links? I mean, there's so many different people that have tried to game the system that it's now become really difficult to acquire good referencing links from other websites. So to kind of narrow it down to what SEO is, search engine optimization is making your website really at this point an authority in whatever space it is that you are in, and then on top of that, doing or providing content or providing value in a way that gets people to link to your website. I'll give you an example. I have a website. If you go to Google and you type in squeeze page template, so there's a website, squeeze page templates free.com. Now it's a long name. It's kind of ugly. It even has the keyword in it. But when you search for that, you go to it, and it ranks 1 or 2 depending on what variation of that keyword you selected. And the reason for it is because 1, people stay on that site. 2, they don't usually bounce. They stay there. They go through the process of getting the free squeeze page templates. They find what they're looking for. And so a lot of that has to be like, what space are you trying to be the authority in? Provide exactly what people are looking for, and then write content that isn't just there to spam people or to try to get rankings. Actually do what people are expecting you to do. And so Google takes into consideration not just these 2 things, keywords and links. Now they're taking into consideration how long they stay on the website, how many pages do they view, etc. Those things are becoming more important now. So now you can see why content marketing has become a very important part of search engine optimization in recent years. And that's kind of how it works. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's basically telling Google that the content you're offering is valuable, and that's exactly what people are looking for. If they stay if they stay on your site, for example, for 10 seconds, and then on your competitor's website they stay for 5 minutes because they have a bigger blog post, they have a video there, they have more interest like images, they'll move your competitor's website higher than yours just because
I would
it's
even
more
I would even
valuable.
go I would even go as far as saying the bounce rate is probably the most important of those factors, because if your website has a long article and their website has a long article too, or even a short one, but for some reason they read that short article and then clicked to go deeper on the website, I have a feeling just from my experience that Google values engagement with the audience a bit more than time spent on website. So if you can get someone, and this is something we tested with our page templates website, is we wanted to make sure that you spent some time looking at a video, actually reading the content. Our new stats, because of some things that we did, now shows that they read all the way to the bottom, which is great. But not only that, they're actually clicking to go to the next step. So we're engaging with them as much as we possibly can through the medium of video, great graphics, because it used to be an old website, ugly graphics, no video. In fact, it used to be a little image of a video box with a play button, but when you clicked it, nothing happened. It's a landing page, right? And so the more that we tweaked it, the more we made it so that people could read it and experience something good with it, the higher it started ranking. It was ranking like number 8. And I think within 2 or 3 days of having it switched up, like with a better design and actual video, and people were able to interact with it more, we saw a rise to number 3, number 2, and now we're number 1 in some keywords. So engagement is probably the most important thing you have to think about. Clicks, view time, and whether they engage with your site further on a deeper level.
So website and design itself and just the website is an important part of SEO, and you should be starting a blog. What kind of content you should be providing on your website for SEO to work? It's not just building a website with a picture and a contact form and calling it a day. There's so much more to it.
Well, if you think about those factors we just talked about, if I was going to redo the squeeze page template website, it's very detailed. It's probably, I think, a couple, maybe close to 2,000 words, probably. But it's because we're talking about different types of landing pages. We have images, we have a video, we have great graphics. So it's a lot. It's a combination of all these things where people kind of engage with your website. So I don't know. Does that answer your question? It's a little difficult to hone in on one thing. If you're a business owner, your goal is to be an authority in what you do. Like, spend the time to think. If I was searching for a window glass repair guy, who do I want to come out and do this work for me? I'm going to go to the guy's website, or a company's website, and I'm going to look at how they're whatever video they might have about how to do the repair,
Exactly.
what their process is. On top of that, what's the price? Price is a big thing for a lot of people, so let me look at price. But some people aren't going to always just look at price as a determining factor. It'll just be as the definitive factor. People will just look at it as a determining factor. Like, this is one thing for this particular vendor, but this vendor seems to do a better job. It looks like they have a better website. They actually wrote information that specifically is about their industry. The more authoritative you look in your industry, the better. If you, for instance, let me give you an example. If you're looking for an SEO guy to do all your SEO stuff, right? You type in SEO Toronto, and a bunch of different sites come up, right? But one of them happens to have a group on Facebook or something. You find out that they have a group of all the different SEO experts, writers, bloggers in a Facebook group, and they are the host of that group or the founder of that group. You probably feel like they're more authoritative and probably the better option, just because you know and you're seeing that they're active within that community, within that realm,
Yeah.
right? Even if, and it's funny because what if they have competitors in that group? Then they're following their group. It's interesting, like the dynamic that happens there. You just have to look like the authority, even within your own sphere of influence or your own peers as well, and set yourself apart from some of them to really get the business from that point on. But that's kind of how I would approach looking at how do I build a website. It's not just a business card anymore. It's it's not building a website, it's building authority. How do I build authority?
Exactly. It's not all about the price, because even if your competitor prices a window repair at $100 and yours is at $200, but you're transparent on your website. You provide step by step your method, how you do the repair, all your license, all your videos, you publish blog posts, different things, and the person will rather go and pay you $200, but they know the result they're gonna get, and they see all the testimonials and everything. It's not all about the price anymore. That's
Testimony, right? Because people want to know more information they're going to do business with, and that includes reviews and those things, right? So imagine you have a realtor. If you go to this really nice house and you don't know the realtor, but you saw a picture, and then you say, okay, I want to go to this house. If your realtor will look one of two ways. One, what if they came on a bicycle with shorts and a t-shirt to show you the house? That'd be kind of weird, right? But if they were dressed like you are, really nicely dressed, you show up in a decent car, it looks like you have your things together, they might be more likely to work with you as a realtor than if you just came up with in a t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops and a bicycle, right? You kind of sort of have to play the part in order for people to believe you, and it's not fake it till you make it. It's actually being an authority. It's taking the time to be the best, the person that deserves the business in your market, for sure.
So when you, depending on your business, there is either you go hard on publishing videos, or you go publishing blog posts, or you write a book, or you do webinars, anything you do, or you do podcasting. How do you get people linking to your content? How do you get those backlinks so you can move up in the SEO and to get on that first page of Google?
So part of it has to be you got to think yourself as a resource, right? And what can I do to be seen as a resource? Oddly enough, and I come back to this example not because I'm trying to push it, but because it's just a perfect example. With the squeeze page templates, when you type that in, automatically by the people who are viewing the results, you're kind of seen as an authority, right? If not, Google wouldn't put you up there, but they did, and you're on there. So there's a reason why you're up there. Now, when you create content, just like we did with the squeeze page templates, we gave value. The thing that we did is we gave value to begin with, right? So it wasn't about, for instance, when you go there, we provided something for free, with the hopes that you'll sign up and then maybe eventually buy from us in the future. But we're giving value first. And so if I, for instance, if I just an example locally, if I was a criminal defense attorney, right, and I dealt with expungements, then I might have an expungement questionnaire on my website that runs you through a questionnaire of whether or not you're even eligible for that, right? If I was a pest control company, if I just say, hey, pest control, we get rid of your bugs, and that was it, that may not bode as well as what are the different types of bugs in your area? Like type in your zip code and then see exactly the kinds of pests that we're seeing in your area. Not only would that be good for people who already live there, but that could be good for people who are looking to live there, right? You're providing a resource. You're giving value in exchange, hopefully at first for contact information, and then in the future for an exchange of actual dollars. You know, there's not some magic way to get money. It's just use what you have, be an authority, provide value, and then money as a resource just exchanges bank accounts whenever you provide a service. That's it. That's all it is, right? So the truth is, you can't just have a business for the sake of wanting freedom or for the sake of wanting to be a business owner. You have to do it to provide value to people. And that has to be true with your website. how can you set yourself apart from all these different people that might be just showing information, a business card online, to providing value to the people that are coming to your website. In some cases, it might be completely out of your, it might even be completely out of your, what do you call it? Your direct line of business. Like for instance, if I was a roofing company, but I provided free lawn care service, a free lawn care service, I might get a ton of people who want us to do their yard for free, but I also have a bunch of potential customers for roofing contracts, right? That's something different. It's out of the box. It's providing value first to the customers that you're looking to target. So that's kind of what I would say is if you were to start a business and you had one page to sell yourself, I wouldn't even sell. I'd give first. And then people will see that as a resource. People will link to your calculator. People will link to your questionnaire. People will link to your legibility survey. Whatever that is that you're going to be able to provide people, your zip code, pest control finding, or pest finder, whatever. Do something that people can use without having to actually have a transaction with you, because it builds credibility and it builds trust in your brand. And I know that sounds really tough for a local business, but it's not. It's not. Just think of yourself as an authority and take it step by step, and then build out your website. One article or one page could be, one thing that you really want to provide value, or you can provide value to a customer, and then build another one, and then build another one, and then Google starts to see that you are an authority in your space. And so when people are looking for, let's say, information on a zip code, before you know it, hey, how is 78726, or my zip code? I'm going to go look at how those houses are, or I'm going to look how the neighborhood is. You might be able to give those people valuable information about that area, right? Which is one of the reasons why we like Yelp, City Search, Angie's List. We use that as well for local. We love stuff around us, right? And it works on a national level too. If you're a big brand already, or a national brand, or venture funded, the idea is provide value. And a lot of people have used white papers and infographics. Yes, these are great ways to be a resource, and you can continue to provide those. But do something that sets you apart from your competitors. If your competitors aren't doing infographics, things that are informative and resourceful, then you do that. You do infographics. You provide resources. You provide the calculator. You provide the eligibility questionnaire. Engage with your audience. That's all I'm asking for anyone who's looking at this video is make sure you try to be engaging. Just give them something to do on your site that gives value first.
All right, so SEO is essentially telling Google that your website is more oriented, more fit for the keywords a customer is typing for. And these are two of the qualifications. One is the time they spend on your website, and the next one is how many links and other websites are pointing back to your site. I know a lot of companies claim to get you on the first page of Google within a month or 2 months, and is it really? How hard is it? What do you actually look out for when hiring somebody to do your SEO, and is it possible to do it yourself?
So I will say that in some markets it would be possible for you to do on your own. In fact, just the act of building a website, a home page, an about page, a contact page, maybe even a couple of really interesting pages in a particular market could be enough to put you as number one, right? Because it's a matter of thinking about the saturation. How many people in my industry are actively seeking to do SEO or paying for it, right? In some cases, not so many. In most cases, you have a lot of people competing, right? So that's kind of, if you know that there are a lot of people competing for that business in your space, and you're trying to carve out a market by actually getting found on Google, then your primary objective, I believe at that point, is not to add more things to do for yourself. I think it's to get someone who knows how to do it. Now, how do you find a good SEO service provider? Now, and I'm a little different than this because we're a national brand, we're not a local brand, and so I don't often get the opportunity to visit with my customer. my client. But if you choose someone locally, you specifically want to go visit them, or do a Skype call just like this. Like get to know these people and talk about, to some extent, some vendors, some SEO vendors are allowed by their clients to talk about their success or talk about their numbers, etc. Right? So just ask them, hey, just show me some proof. Just show me what you've been doing. Tell me about the process. How does it work? Everyone wants to know how it works, right? Even if they don't understand it. And a lot of people who are looking for SEO services, in their mind, all they know is I want more customers. You don't need to be technical. So talk with these guys. If they're selling you to try to close a deal immediately, and you feel awkward about it, there's probably a reason to that. I don't personally think that anyone who's trying to push a product on me is the best option for me, because then I feel like those guys they're sales guys, they're not SEO guys who can consult me, right? So you want to talk with someone who knows what they're talking about. Tell them to go a little bit into the details. Why is it that it works? And if they're willing to tell you the things that we're talking about on this phone call right now, then they're more than not, they're likely to actually provide a good service for you. So the questions that I would ask off the bat are, can you take a look at my website? Like, make sure they look at your website, make sure they come up with some recommendations. What can you do on-site? But then on top of that, what can you do off-site? What can you do externally to get more links to my website, right? So that's one of the big questions that I think people should ask, because you want to know the procedures. Like, how do you get people to reference to my site? And if they just say, oh, we're just going to go and get links to your website, and I'm like, but why would people link to me? Why would people link to me? What do I have on my website that is linkable, that you would share, and so you know that off the bat as a business owner. But if they say, oh, well, we would have to provide a couple of lead magnets, maybe some content upgrades to your website in order to provide value first and set you as an authority, and then get you links to stuff to those websites, then we're talking. Then you got someone who's doing it right, because content is at the central core of SEO, period, bar none, right? Even if it's external SEO efforts. So look at what process it is they have. Visit them. If they're a company that's not remote like mine, because we have employees all over the world, not just in Austin. I would say to go and visit them. Go talk to them. Meet some of their team members. All of this is important because you're making a really big commitment to spend, maybe 15 to, in some cases, $10,000 a month. And if you're a bigger company like a corporation, maybe $250,000 a quarter on something like SEO. And those people have more expectations. They want to know how much money, how much revenue were you able to produce for your client, like through the channel of SEO and content marketing and SEO, right? Like they're to know how much money did your campaign produce from organic search results. And that's kind of a company that tracks those kinds of things, that can provide you that kind of tracking, is probably better suited to do the work that you're looking for them to do than one that says nothing about tracking. That says they just say, hey, we're going to get you more traffic, and in some cases that's fine. That's what you want. As a business owner, you want more eyeballs. Just give me more contact form submissions. Just give me more leads, and that's fine. That's the measure of success will be, can you increase the number of leads I get on a daily basis already, or on a weekly basis or monthly basis? And if that's true, you're doing a good job. I can continue to pay you, right? So look for companies that have a process that can provide value, can have reasons to push, if you will, your website as a reference, as a resource. And on top of that, just vet them. Just talk to them. Talk to a couple members of their team. It's an interview process. Hire slow, fire fast. Take the time to really vet the company, to really get to know them. And if they start becoming weird, or you're becoming a nuisance or something, it might not be a good company to go with. You want someone that you can talk to, relate to, and then grow with as well. But if they're a company that after a while doesn't want to talk to you, maybe they're not a good team. So that's about the best that I can do, I think, to answer that question.
So to wrap this up, what do you think some of the business owners that are watching us right now, what can, like, some actionable steps they can do today to see where they stand in SEO, where their website stands right now, and what they can do to improve?
Okay, so I guess to some actionable items. I would say, and this is kind of difficult because I don't know if the people watching this are going to know what I'm talking about necessarily, but I would definitely get an SEO audit. Any firm out there, to get a couple. Hey, if you're going to be vetting a couple of SEO vendors, go and ask them, hey, can you give me an audit? And what does it cost? If they're willing to do it for a couple $100s, because it's not unless you have a really large website, do it. Just figure out, okay, these are the things that I have that aren't great with my website that I can fix. Oh, it takes forever to load up. Okay, let's fix that. Oh, it takes the content is too short, or there's multiple duplicates of certain pages. Oh my gosh, let's fix that. Right? These are kind of things that blur out to us. Like if I see your website and you have duplicate content or sites that look very similar, pages that look very similar to others, like in e-commerce websites, then you have an issue. You have a problem there. If they say, hey, we can add more pieces of content, more video, more images, more infographic, those are the things that you want to know about your website, because that is the thing that people are engaging with whenever they come to see you, right? So get an audit. Go to your local vendor, go to a couple and say, I just need an audit. I want to know what you guys think my website needs. And it's a great way to start. Not many SEO companies are going to be willing to do that because they know it's a one-off sort of fee that they can charge for it, and you might take that report to someone else. So talk with I would say someone who's willing to provide you an audit report and also work with you, and willing to talk to you and kind of consult you through the process is someone who knows what they're doing. So go get an audit. Find a way to do it, because if I told you the specifics of it right now, I just don't think that everyone would understand what to look for, or what to ask in order to make that possible, or go do it themselves on their website. Not everyone knows how to do that. So get an audit. The other thing too, if you're a national brand, think about how you can be an authority. Think about how even people in your own space, your own competitors can say, wow, they created that study, or they created that infographic based on that study. That was brilliant. That was kind of we got to watch out for them. So do things like that are kind of resourceful to other people and to your competitors in a way. I think it's kind of interesting when with SEO, we've published everything that we've ever done, all the little tests that we've ever done.
Yep.
We talk about them, and some competitors get really mad that we do that, right? Because they're like, man, you're gonna give the industry secrets away, and I'm like, I don't care. But that, to me, that my customer deserves to know everything we're doing, right?
Yep.
So I would say if you can get an audit, get someone who can really talk you through the process, that they're not just trying to shove something down your throat in terms of a package, then talk with them. That's the first thing I would do. Just get an audit. Figure out where you are externally and on page, internally with your website, and then take it step at a time. Things that you can immediately take advantage of are, how can I make my website faster so that it loads quicker?
Yeah.
Google sees that as an important factor. One of many factors, but it's a good one that I like to focus on. How can I get the website to load quickly? Can I add more content, even some metadata? Is my metadata okay? Am I making good, effective use of my SEO on-page optimization? But the website loading up quickly is an important one. Being able to provide content. If you guys aren't using that as a tool, you should start blogging. Get someone to write a couple articles every once in a while. It's just so that Google can come back and see what's new with your website. And so I know that websites that have rankings who blog tend to keep them more often when competitors show up than not. So if you're ranking, if you're doing good already, don't think that you're always going to be there. So in order to prevent stuff like that, provide content, provide value. And I think over time you'll see that you'll keep your rankings more often than not.
And if what's the good resource for someone to learn and to learn SEO online? Is there a good resource for that?
So I would say a good place to start with a good friend of mine, Tommy Griffith, is clickminded.com.
Mm-hmm.
Clickminded.com. He provides a pretty good course that's mainly scientific SEO. I think if you want to learn about your website and what you should do and what things you can take advantage on your website, it's a couple $100. I think it's two. I think they even have deals sometimes, so you might want to look out for when they have deals. But they have great information regarding SEO in general. So if you really want a scientific and an artistic view of what SEO is, I think Tommy Griffith has concisely put a good course together for people who are looking to learn more about SEO.
Yep, and I'll put that in our show notes as well.
Yeah, and I would say, no, I mean, you know what? If I was to tell myself 10 years ago what to do, I'd probably start off with that course just to get a good understanding of what SEO is, and being able to now, when I get an audit, understand what my audit means. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I would say, just if you're wanting to learn what SEO is for the sake of knowing as a business owner, so that you know how to choose a good vendor, go take that course.
All right. All right. Thank you, Tony, for a chat. It's been a pleasure. It's so much valuable information in this, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, you bet, man. Thanks a lot for your time. Appreciate it, Max. Take care.
Thank you.